And good morning at 7:04 on this Tuesday, July 13th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome Tuesday morning. We're glad to have you with us. Glad we had a little more rain. It's not as dry as it was, and we can all be thankful for that, I think. Our program presented each Tuesday by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, here when you need them in Wilson County. Vanderbilt Health provides care and wellness personalized to your needs right here in our community. They have locations throughout Wilson County, and they're growing to provide you and your family with the right care in the most convenient location. From Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital to various clinics in and around Lebanon and Mount Juliet and nearby when you need them most. The Vanderbilt Center for Women's Health is dedicated to delivering the highest care to women in all stages of life, and it is now in Lebanon. The Vanderbilt Center for Women's Health provides a wide range of obstetrical and gynecological care, including annual well women exams and pap smears, preventive screenings, pregnancy care and delivery. They also offer same-day appointments. The Women's Health team is committed to caring for you and your unique needs. The Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center is now serving patients in Wilson and surrounding counties. This nationally renowned cancer center has experienced on-staff board-certified radiation oncologists, the latest and most advanced radiation technology with pinpoint precision. The Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center treats all types of cancers, provides the highest quality protocol and technology in the industry, as well as convenient real-time access to clinical data for patients through VanderbiltHealthConnect.com. Hospitals are for healing, new life, and recovery. They're places of innovation, learning, and exploration. But more than anything, hospitals are really about one thing: community. Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, honored to serve Wilson County and be part of all the great things that are happening here. Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, 1411 Badur Parkway, Lebanon. Well, this is the second Tuesday of July, and we should have someone from Mount Juliet to talk to this morning, and hopefully we will momentarily. Kind of leave it up to City Manager Kenny Martin to have somebody for us. He has been calling in for quite some time. I guess it's been over a year since he's actually been here live in studio with us, and we miss seeing him, but he's been very faithful to either call in himself or to have someone to either call or come by. And of course, from time to time, we've talked with Police Chief James Hambrick and the Fire Chief Jamie Luffman, and that's usually it. That's pretty much the trio that keeps us informed as to what is taking place in the city of Mount Juliet government. Of course, we do have the Chamber of Commerce that's featured once a month in Mount Juliet as well. Well, I hope Tuesday is going well for you here. Of course, last week we had the 4th of July on a Sunday, but everybody got off on Monday, so it was a kind of a 4-day work week, and it's back to normal this week. And our schedule, the second half today, we're going to have the Lebanon Special School District featured, and I believe maybe we're ready to go to the telephone here, and let's see who we have on. Good morning. You're on Coleman and Company.
Hey, Billy, it's Kenny.
Kenny Coleman, how are you?
Hey, Coleman, I'm doing fine. How you doing?
Doing well. Good to hear your voice.
It's good to hear yours as well. Sorry about the mix-up there.
Well, what's happening in Mount Juliet?
Man, I tell you, we are wide open. We had a commission meeting last night, had a pretty packed agenda, and everything's going real well.
Well, we're glad to hear that, and I guess you've got some much-needed rain here in the last few days as well.
We have. We had a great 4th of July celebration, to celebrate our country, and we actually had 2 shows. We had one on one side of the city and one on the other. And it was a little dry. I was worried at first because of the weather being so dry, but fortunately we didn't have any issues whatsoever. I think everybody had a great time. Traffic was perfect, and the night turned out to be extremely perfect. So I have to admit, I was a little bit worried about that at first. We had a few years back to where it got really, really dry, and we
Mm-hmm.
thought about canceling, but it all ended up working out perfect. Everybody had a great time, and coming off the heels of the pandemic, I was very excited for our citizens to get out and have a good time. It did my heart good to see people having a good time.
Yeah, and it's nice to be able to get back out and to feel pretty comfortable. I think doing so, getting to see people, and not. We're still some concerned. We definitely want to be careful. Nobody wants to get COVID, but it's not like it was, and that's an improvement.
No, absolutely, without a doubt. I know we're still dealing with that and encouraging people to be safe, continue to do the things they were doing before, staying home when you're sick and taking good care of yourself, washing your hands. We're still doing that, but it's nice to, that got a lot of people vaccinated now, got the herd immunity going. A lot of different businesses, they are coming back, allowing full capacity again. They've made some, accommodations and things of that nature with their restaurants and all, but it feels good, and I think that we all felt like there'd been a whole lot we'd lost there for a while. We had to make some sacrifices. I think it was necessary, but just glad to see people having a good time again. Our citizens in particular have been through so much, with floods and the tornadoes, and pandemics, and we had the winter storms, and it's just nice seeing people get to have a good time again, and events back in the parks and things of that nature, getting to get out and walk, and it definitely does my heart good.
Well, I know another thing. We don't want to ride this horse to death, but your budget was passed. It's in place. I think you might have even had a tax reduction, and it sounds like everybody's pretty happy about that.
We did, Coleman. Actually, we did. There was some confusion for just a bit because we were waiting for through the new assessment to get the actual rate, and when the rate came back at lower than what it was, when we had the last assessment. The city commissioners decided to take the rate at first initially because we weren't sure what it was. It hadn't come in yet from 16.64. I took it down to 15, and once we knew the rate had come in at, I think it was 12.44 or something like that, they actually ended up lowering our city property tax rate to 11 cents.
Mm-hmm.
They understood that a lot of people have been through a lot, and the city's been blessed in so many ways. So the way that our mayor and our vice mayor and commission looked at it was, if the city's doing well, then we need to pass that savings on to the citizens. And I was glad to see that because, a lot of people may not realize our city's only had a property tax for about 9 or 10 years. And so, it's always operated very conservatively, and always, been trying to be good stewards of these citizens' resources and monies, and they continue to do that. But we were blessed this year and able to do some things that I'm very excited about. One of those is build a new fire station,
Mm-hmm.
which those bids went out. They've been issued, so the construction should start soon for the fire station over on the north side by Green Hill High School. Excited about that. We did moved our public works facility over to Clemens Road. That was nice because it allowed for some new development on Mount Jewett Road, and we'll also be doing an addition to the police station. That stuff takes a little while because it's got to be engineered, designed, things of that nature, bid it out, all those things. But that's been done, so that addition to the police station should be starting soon. And now we've got an exploratory committee. We'd already decided that we're going to look at building a new city hall at some point, probably over the next year. It'll take a little while to get all those things going, but the commission has now decided they're going to put together a committee, which I'm excited about, to look into possibly building not only a new city hall, but something that'd be similar to a Jimmy Floyd Center. You'd have a teen center and pool, things of that nature inside of it, and also even maybe a senior citizen center as well. So to build it bigger than what we'd originally talked about, instead of 30,000 square feet, it could be as large as 80.
Oh, well, I think things are looking up in that direction then.
They are, and I'm excited about that because there's always been discussions and things of that nature about maybe some combinations, and again, this pandemic, I think it taught a lot of folks, that how nice it is to have things that you don't really realize until something's taken away from you, what you're missing. And we've talked for years maybe about a senior citizen center or about pools or some type of teen center, things of that nature. And so it's exciting to see it come to fruition to where there's going to be a committee formed basically by the mayor, and he'll appoint a certain number of individuals to that, experts in various fields, to sort of look at what is it that we need in a city hall. What will that look like, and then what will the other uses look like if they were all combined together, and sort of a campus-style setup.
Okay. Kenny, we've reached the break point here, so hang on. We're going to take a break after we remind you that Coleman and Company, presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, right here on FM 98.9.
All right, now it's 7:14. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford and the Lifetime Brake Pad Guarantee, with the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns the vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Actually, it's busy out here. Give yourself plenty of extra time as that traffic volume starts to pick up. Coming through Mount Juliet right now, all that traffic leaving Wilson County, headed towards Hermitage on I-40 going westbound. 400 block East Thompson Lane. We did see the police working that accident. Also, they're still on the scene of an earlier crash in Gallatin Avenue at Strauss Avenue in East Nashville. Again, that's blocking the intersection. Hey, Prince's Hot Chicken is now open inside the Assembly Food Hall near the National Museum of African American Music on Broadway. Order today online at princeshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Kenny Martin, representing the city of Mount Juliet, is with us. He's the city manager. How long you been city manager?
I think it's been right at 10 years now, Coleman. You can believe that. It seems like just yesterday that I got the blessing of being appointed into the position, and we've had a lot of good times together, and I hope that continues. I'd like to stay with the city for a long, long time. So, yeah, it's been about 10 years, and I'm in my 32nd year with the city.
Yeah, once upon a time you were police chief.
That's right. Yeah, I was police chief at one time, and some of them like to joke that I've tried about everything at the city, and I've just been blessed. I love our city. When I started there, I was like the 5th or 6th police officer and sort of worked my way up through the ranks and became chief, and then went over and tried the economic development route for a while. Really enjoyed that. And I think that really was beneficial to me because it gave me the opportunity to learn a lot more beyond just police work about our city. But, well, look at when you've got a great staff, a great election.
Hey, did we lose you? I think something has happened here. We don't hear his voice anymore. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to hang up the phone here, and Kenny, I hope you'll dial us back. We have lost you. Or I guess I could dial you. I don't know which to do here. I'll tell you what. Let me find that number here again. Here we go. All right. Hey, good morning, Kenny. Is this you? You're back with us.
Me.
Well, I don't know what happened. We lost you.
Well, that's what's bad about when you're on these mobile devices. So sorry about that.
Well, let me bring something up here that I think we could talk about. I know that you have the construction going on widening the highway over the interstate, Mount Juliet Road, if you will. And I have noticed, because I go to Nashville about every week, and going, you've just, I think the interstate narrowed from 4 lanes to 3, and it hasn't been bad. I can't tell hardly any difference other than it's there. What's it like on top?
Well, we had that terrible fatal crash here a few weeks ago. And during that time, we got very concerned because we thought we were going to shut the entire bridge down. And we continue to pray for that family. That's a terrible tragedy for our county and for that family. But for just a short period of time, probably for about a week or so, they shut down one of the lanes on the interstate that goes westbound under the bridge overpass and one of the lanes on the top. That has since reopened, and even with the construction, 2 lanes remain open as you go northbound across the interstate. The problem is that if people are familiar that traverse that particular area, as you go northbound, one of those lanes it turns into a turning lane to go west on I-40, and that's sort of part of the problem of why we're adding the extra lane. And with the teamwork of TDOT is that you'll now have 2 northbound lanes and also the 2 turn lanes that take you onto I-40, because for rush hour in the morning, of course, we've got folks that are coming from everywhere, from the south side of the city, from Laverne, from Smyrna, from Murfreesboro, from Gladeville, places like that throughout the county that come across that bridge to make their way to Nashville. So it's a little different, because there's cones and things of that nature. That makes it for people to be a little bit more cautious. But actually, the traffic's been flowing quite well considering the construction.
Well, it's one of those things where we wait knowing that good is going to come out of it. We have to persevere a little bit for something better to come along a little bit later. And I think this is going to be a lot better, especially on Mount Juliet Road.
It is. Anytime you got a bridge that crosses an interstate that's that wide, there's like 4 or 5 lanes each side as you come through there. Any kind of issue whatsoever on that bridge, it can sure make them, for a mess. It's that's your main north-south corridor. But I will say this: when we had the accident recently and they had to shut the bridge down entirely there for just a short period of time, I was most thankful for the taxpayers in our elected body that had built Golden Bear Gateway, because had we not had that road, that's another way that people could get around the city during that time. You don't really realize how nice a road is until you don't have it. And so having those back both open, especially during this time of year with summer upon us and people getting out and traffic being a little bit heavier than it normally be, that's a blessing. But when that bridge is finished, I don't know if I know necessarily what to do with myself, because I can remember back when that bridge was 2 lanes. So to have it fully functional again, and also on top of that, having the bike lane and the sidewalks and the street lights and things of that nature added to it, and it's going to be a little bit more decorative in nature. You hate to say a bridge is ever something you look at and say, well, that's a good-looking bridge, well, that's a pretty bridge, but it's going to be a very nice, welcoming, I guess you'd say, bridge or exit way as you come into the main gateway of Mount Juliet. So, I'm actually excited about a bridge.
Well, and of course, one of these days, but it's going to be a while yet, there's supposed to be another interchange down the Central Pike, I understand.
There is, and that's fully in the works. And, and I know a lot of folks, sometimes I'll hear folks joke about 109 or, about how things take a while. And we've heard that same thing with South Mount Juliet Road. We've actually got tonight at 6:30, there's a bit of a virtual town hall meeting that we're having to discuss the widening of South Mount Juliet Road for people that traverse Mount Juliet. They're familiar that between Providence, there we're probably about where Kroger is, up to Central Pike. That section of road has actually been 3 lanes to some section, and then it narrows all the way down to 2 lanes as you got closer up to Central Pike. Well, that's going to be ultimately widened. We're probably about 2 years out, but they'll have a town hall meeting tonight to discuss with citizens, and they'll be able to ask questions, things of that nature, what that's going to look like. And basically what that's going to look like is there'll be a center lane plus 2 lanes each direction with bike lanes and shoulders and sidewalks that'll go all the way just beyond Central Pike. And that doesn't sound like that big a deal, but for that stretch of roadway, that's going to be tremendous, because what will help us with is the flow of traffic through the Providence area and all the retail and mixed use and commercial that's in that area. Anytime you've got a road that narrows down from what it is up around the overpass and the interstate in Providence, and as you start trying to exit through Providence, it narrows down. Well, that was supposed to have been done within about 5 years of Providence opening, and unfortunately, with budgets and things of that nature and, more prioritized projects across the state, it just wasn't able to happen. So for us, what we're hoping is within 2 years, the widening of South Mount Juliet Road will happen, and within less than 5 years, hopefully, the Central Pike interchange will come into fruition. And one other thing, Coleman, not necessarily related to the Central Pike interchange or widening South Mount Juliet Road, but we've got a private project called Providence Central, and if you're familiar with where the Marriott Hotel is in Mount Juliet, here real soon, as a matter of fact, some people are probably seeing a lot of trees and things being cleared. But part of that development was before they could break real ground, is they had to put the infrastructure in on the front end.
Mm-hmm.
So what citizens are going to start seeing is a lot of clearing, and ultimately Adams Lane is going to be realigned from about where it is now. It'll go a little bit further east. Let me see if that would be, I guess, southeast, and the road will be widened, and the old Adams Lane will go away. So people should start seeing that start real soon. And what's good about that is it's going to make the traffic flow around Providence a lot better.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
Yes.
Tell us about any new businesses you got that you want to talk about this morning.
Yeah, well, of course, everybody knows that Under Armour just opened, and they went from what they thought was going to be maybe 1,000 to 1,500 jobs. Now they're talking about 3,000 jobs. And of course, in this job market, unemployment there for a short period of time was about 10%. It's back down now, and I want to say about 3.5, 3.9. So it's dropped tremendously, but there's still lots and lots of jobs available. And as people start to get back into the workforce again from the pandemic, they're not able to ramp up as quick as they'd like to. But they're doing a lot of hiring there. So if anybody's out there and wants a really good job, Amazon is hiring. We've got a new Whataburger that'll be coming in real soon before the Planning Commission. I think they're on the next agenda, which is this month, I believe next week. So excited about that. There's a Camel car wash. That's the name of the car wash. It's called CAMEL, and their mascot is actually a camel, sort of a cartoonish type camel. Excited about that. They'll be going in right beside the Whataburger on Mount Road. And the reason that excites me, Coleman, is, you think, why would you get excited about a Whataburger and a Camel? Well, the Whataburger will take place of an old closed gas station convenience market that's been there for years, and it served its purpose in its day. But to be honest with you, I think the citizens will agree with me. It's time for it to go, especially the fact that it's empty. So they'll be tearing that down in its place, replacing it with a brand new Whataburger. And I know Lebanon's getting one as well. I know the citizens are excited about it because Whataburger had left this part of the country for a long period of time, so they're now making a big comeback. There's a lot of enthusiasm for folks old enough to remember Whataburger when you were a kid. Them coming back even bigger and better now is exciting. So we'll be getting that. We'll be getting Camel car wash. We've got a place at the barbecue restaurant called the Candied Rib. They literally should be opening any day now. They had some problems with a couple of issues in their build out, and it's been delayed a little bit. They should be opening soon. We've got a new music business that just opened called Bach to Rock. So when you think of Beethoven and Bach, that nature, it's called Bach to Rock.
Bach to Rock.
They basically teach folks, no matter how young or old, various instruments. And I'm going to actually be trying to take some drum lessons myself because I've always had a desire to learn how to play drums. They just recently opened in Mount Juliet, and the gentleman that opened the business is actually the drummer for Tim McGraw, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think he decided during the pandemic, that they've lost a lot of their touring dates, things of that nature. I think he said, I've always had a dream to open my own business. We're very excited about that because music is important. We're in Music City, Tennessee, basically. We're right outside of Nashville. So there's a lot of musicians that live in our community, and we've got the Shiloh Music Store, and they keep a lot of music as well. So excited about that business, and I was trying to think of some other businesses, but I didn't want to ramble on too much.
Well, let me ask you. I'm asking you something else. You're a city manager. You know all about the city personnel. Are you hiring at all now? You fully staffed? How are things at City Hall?
We are actually right now. As a matter of fact, we just hired a facilities maintenance person, and that's basically a person that's responsible for not only making sure that the city facilities are in tip-top shape. They'll basically be going throughout the city and looking at things like banner poles and things of that nature, benches, trash receptacles, you name it, just to keep the city looking sharp, make sure those things are working properly. We're also going to be out hiring a public information officer. We're going to be hiring 5 new police officers plus a canine officer. We'll also be looking for a canine, dog, I guess you'd say, of course. Not sure what type of dog that's going to be because there's all types of different canine dogs. We'll be adding 9 new firefighters at some point. We added a new person to our IT department, and we'll also be adding people to various departments, including parks. So we want to thank the citizens and the commission again for stepping up. We just have a lot of needs with all the growth that we've got, and we've been doing in some areas without, so having the commission step up, and not necessarily without, but it's a little bit of a reduced staff than what we actually needed.
Mm-hmm.
So doing a lot of hiring right now. So if there's folks out there that are interested in different positions in local government, I can tell you for somebody that's been there in my 32nd year, I love our city. I love local government because it gives you an opportunity to serve others. And it's a small enough scale to where you can actually, you don't get too big too fast, but you're still able to communicate real well with your citizens and get a feel for what they really need. I'm excited about that, and I love our city.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for taking care of us here on a Tuesday morning and bringing us up to date. It's good to have you with us, and thank you so much, Kenny.
No, thank you, Coleman. Sorry about the mix up there. Sorry folks had to wait. I hope everybody has an extremely blessed day and week because we're blessed in multiple ways.
All right. Thank you. Kenny Martin, City Manager for City of Mount Juliet. That's part one of Coleman and Company, presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. We hope you'll stay with us for more here on FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:31. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Absolute Kubota, Land Pride, quality tractor implements, including cutters, finish mowers, box blades, tillers, and more. 5-year gearbox warranty. Extremely durable and well-built. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic. Let's check back in with Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic's on the increase here on 65 coming down past Trinity Lane. All that traffic flow coming through East Nashville right now. Still looks pretty good, at least at the moment, on I-40 through Mount Juliet. Now that Wilson County traffic has picked up quite a bit. They did send an ambulance service over to the 400 block at East Thompson Lane to check everybody out that was involved in that crash. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar is home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. Check out their flavors at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
West Tree Service, locally owned and operated in Lebanon, Tennessee. With over 25 years experience, our primary goal is to provide high-quality professional service with attention to detail. At West Tree Service, we use better equipment to be more efficient, which equals reasonable prices for our customers. We offer free estimates with no obligation. We are licensed and fully insured. West Tree Service, honest service, says professional, courteous, and on time. For more information, visit westtreecare.com or call 615-456-2011.
71 degrees all the way.
73 degrees, please.
So what's your perfect degree of comfort? We'll help you find it with professional Rheem HVAC service that'll keep your home comfy year-round, save on energy costs, and may qualify for utility rebates and tax credits. So enjoy a new degree of comfort.
72 degrees, and I'm good to go.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
At Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, world-class care is a heartbeat away. In fact, we offer the same world-class attention Middle Tennessee has come to rely on from a Vanderbilt Health hospital. Supported by over 200 specialties, an expanded emergency department staffed with Vanderbilt Health physicians 24/7, and greater investments in life-saving technologies and care. It's just one more way we're making healthcare personal.
We'll have mostly cloudy skies here in the mid-state, along with showers and storms. Highs this afternoon will top out in the mid-80s. On Wednesday, we'll have just a slight chance of rain, otherwise skies will be partly cloudy. Temperatures on Wednesday reach the upper 80s. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's Look at Your Forecast. I'm meteorologist T.J. Scott.
Coleman and Company, welcome to our second half, which we call part two. You know, it's real difficult here. Part one and part two. Sean Dozier joins us this morning, as usual, on a Tuesday. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
And something he loves to talk about, Hearthside Senior Living.
Love to talk about Hearthside Senior Living. I tell you what, we have a wonderful community right in the heart of Lebanon, 215 Castle Heights Avenue North. Beautiful campus. I tell you what, I love pulling up there every day. Just a beautiful. We got nice manicured lawn. It's just a beautiful campus, and I'm going a little overboard here, but it's a beautiful campus.
How long have you been there now?
I've been there, about 3 years, yeah. 2018. So I've really enjoyed it. Hope to be there a long time to serve our seniors here in Wilson County, here in Lebanon, and we.
Well, let me say, we sure enjoy having you.
Oh, well, I appreciate being here. I really do. I enjoy seeing.
It's just something, you and our other advertisers, but most of you, if not all, are really something to look forward to.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I look forward to being here. Look forward to seeing your wonderful guest, and look forward to seeing you and MJ and Billy and Susie if she's here. It's always great to see everybody. I started coming out here back in 2000, about the year 2000, when the racetrack was under construction, and the judge was asking me about if I went to the race, and I did go to the race as a fan. I worked there for 10 years, so I went there as a fan this time, but started coming out here in about the year 2000. I brought Cliff out here several times, Cliff Hawks, and anyway, we're getting off track here, but I enjoy coming out here. It's kind of a history, and I love the history of this place.
Going from the racetrack to being executive director of
how did I do that? How did I go from the racetrack to Hearthside? Well, how I did it was after the racetrack, the economy was just terrible. So nobody was really hiring PR people or marketing people. 2008, 2009 was really a rough couple of years for the economy. But I knew someone in the healthcare industry, and I said, hey, I'm kind of interested. I've always loved seniors. I loved my grandparents. I loved talking to older folks. And could I be an administrator for a nursing home? And so I went back and got my license, did my internship, and for 10 years I was in nursing homes. And then when Hearthside came up, and boy, I was excited because not only do you get to work in the assisted living, but you also have the independent living, and it's just been a wonderful experience.
And you said, well, I've got to pray about it. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, after being in nursing homes for 10 years, if you worked in nursing homes, it's wonderful communities. But let me tell you, it's a lot of regulation, a lot of stuff going on. So. It's just I really haven't. I've always wanted to work in assisted living, and always wanted to be a part of a senior living community. It just happens. We just happen to have a wonderful place right here in Lebanon, and
been a great fit.
Been a great fit for me.
Yeah. Well, you still got those $3 meals.
We still got those $3 meals for our independent living folks, and if they call us,
that's the only one.
That's the only ones. If they call us ahead of time, we'll have it ready for them. We have it literally waiting for them in the foyer. They pull up, they get it, and they take it with them, which has been a wonderful service, particularly during the pandemic. They just pulled up and got it to go, and it's been great. And of course, we don't have any guests right now eating in our dining room. We continue to restrict that just to residents, but our meals are wonderful. I like to say, we don't nickel and dime people. All of our prices encompassed in one set price, and you get a housekeeping and laundry and your 3 meals a day, your snacks, your activities, your med management, all in one price. And our prices are very reasonable. And I often say, if you think maybe I can't afford assisted living, well, you might be surprised. Our prices are very reasonable. Our service is great. So if you're thinking, it's really hot outside. I don't want to take care of this big lawn anymore. I don't want to take care of my house anymore. I really want something smaller, something more.
Don't want to cook anymore.
Don't want to cook anymore. I just want something a little more down home, a little more reasonable for my time. Our independent living and our assisted living is really a good option to look at.
Well, you got an opening right now?
We do have a few openings in our assisted living. We're continuing to have move-ins. We had 2 move-in last week, so we're starting to get back to where we were pre-pandemic.
You'll be full.
We'll be full before long, and I'm excited about that. Anytime a new resident moves in, it's always a good thing, and so we're looking forward to those 2 folks moving in. We got several moving in over the next couple of weeks. So if you're interested, call us at 615-443-1994, or nowadays you can just stop by and we can give you a tour like the good old days, and we'd love to give you a tour of our community. It's beautiful. And if you're interested in our independent living, we continue to have a waiting list for that, but we continue to add folks to that because you just never know when one might become available. And, if you go down the list, some people may not be ready. So we're giving tours of our independent living homes as well. So come by and see us. We're an open book now. You can come by and see us anytime. We'd love to have you stop by and have a cup of coffee and give you a tour.
There you go. Well, I think it's time for a Hearthside Hello.
Well, my Hearthside Hello goes to Daryl and Lisa Noble. I ran into them, and they of course, listen to you, and so I wanted to give them a Hearthside Hello. Daryl and Lisa Noble, they run Cedar City RV, of course, right there. They got a new location.
Yeah, new location.
Yeah, beautiful location out there on the bypass. So, hello to them. If they're not listening, make sure somebody tells them I said hello, because this is a coveted spot. You know, if you get mentioned on Har Said Hello, it's a big deal. So make sure they know about it.
All right. Well, with that, we will, as I say, let you go. No, not that we're holding you, but thanks so much, and hope
It's great to be here, and see you next week.
Tuesday. All right.
Bye.
Sean Dozier, Executive Director for Harside Senior Living, 215 Castle Heights Avenue North. Again, 615-443-1994. We're 21 before the hour, 21 before 8 o'clock. And today on Part 2, we feature the Lebanon Special School District. Beth Petty is here. Beth, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. Good to see you.
It is nice to see you. Now, you asked me or one of you did, when you walked in, did Scott Benson call you? And as far as I know, the answer is no. Now, he may have left a message I missed, but what's happening?
Well, we're really excited about a lot of different things that are going on with Lebanon Special School District. We have been busy this summer with feeding and reading, and Team Neon has been out like they have been for so many summers, making sure our kids have all the nutrition events that they need to be good for the summer. And then the state has been really good to us this year, and we received Governor's Early Literacy Foundation grant, and we're able to start up a book bus with one of our Neon buses. In addition to feeding, we've also been handing out free books this summer to build home libraries. And we also have a new state director with our FRCs. His name's Taylor Rayfield, and we have completely revamped our mission, our guidelines, and our standards. So we're really excited about some changes. But what we're really here to talk about today is in part of this process, we want to make sure that we take even better care of our students and our families. So we want to start some programs that specifically look at the needs of our students and families, and then partner some people in our community that are good matches. We're going to call them partners instead of mentors. And we have Judge Barry Tatum here, and he has had a vision, and we're going to be working with him as well as some other organizations, but we're going to turn it over to him and let him talk about what we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks.
Oh, so you're Scott this morning.
No, I'm not Scott. And Beth here does such a great job. I just would soon let her just keep going, because she packs so much information in the short amount of time.
Well, you're being a little modest here. Tell us your vision, your idea, your plan.
Well, some people might say I've been seeing things, but for some time, Coleman, I've had it in my mind, and it's been bouncing around for years now. What could we do to try to help young people who are maybe floating around rudderless going through life?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that much about your background, but I suspect you and I are a lot alike, and a lot of other people we knew are a lot alike, because we had parents who were our guides, and inspired us to do better than maybe what we thought we were capable of doing. And anyone who's had any measure of success doesn't make, and I'm not talking about size of your bank account or the newness of your car, but to have a good work ethic, to be successful, a law-abiding, contributing member of society, a good family person, has had somebody inspire them, whether it's been a parent, a grandparent, a coach, a teacher, pastor, whoever, maybe a neighbor, has taken an interest in a young person, saying, you're capable of doing better than what you are, or you've got to maybe here's some exposure to some things that you didn't think that you would ever be able to attain or reach, but you've got the ability to do it. And I'd liken it to people who are maybe the first generation to graduate from high school or to college, or somebody who's gone on to earn a graduate degree, or something of that type. First person in a family to become a teacher, or Hall of Fame member radio host like yourself. Whatever the case is, they're things that we can achieve if we have the right exposure and have the inspiration. So many of the kids that we see in our community come from broken homes, blended family, single family homes, and in today's world, it's a realistic matter. People are having to work sometimes overtime and extra hours if it's available, or work 2 jobs, flex schedules in order to make ends meet. I had the good fortune when I was a kid. My dad worked in a factory. My mom had some sales jobs, but my dad and I got to spend a lot of time talking, whether we were topping tobacco or pulling tobacco slips or tying up tomato plants, whatever it is. You get a chance to be encouraged to do better. And so that's where our program, we're working off the acronym called SOAR, SOAR, and stands for Student Outreach and Resilience. And I know we're getting close to a break and a traffic report, so why don't you ask Beth a question? We can talk more about it on the flip side.
Well, let me just say we have Beth and Barry here this morning, and we will continue with Beth and Barry after this break on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And to 744, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford, that regular oil change $24.95. Up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, $16.73 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We still see quite a bit of traffic volume here trying to make its way down through Madison right now. Right on schedule, actually, on 65 South all the way down here to Trinity Lane. There's a couple of accidents out here. 400 block at East Thompson Lane. Traffic volume on the increase coming through Mount Juliet right now. All that Wilson County traffic leaving, headed towards Nashville down the interstate. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar is home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. Check out their flavors at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome to Hearthside Senior Living, Lebanon's unique senior living community designed for seniors to age in place, all within a safe, comfortable, and Christian environment. Beautiful retirement homes designed for an independent lifestyle with maintenance-free living. Hearthside Senior Living also continues the excellent tradition of assisted living for those seniors who need additional services. Hearthside Senior Living, an independent retirement community and assisted living community, all on one campus in the heart of Lebanon. Call 615-443-1994 for a tour. Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Our final segment here on Tuesday morning. But we do have Beth Petty from the Lebanon Special School District, and we have Judge Barry Tatum from his judge show, I guess. It's good to have you today, and I'm glad you're here to talk about your idea. And being in the position that you are, and you deal with a lot of juveniles even in court, don't you?
Yes, sir.
So your recollection is certainly verified, legitimate, and all of that. And anything you can do to help people get straightened out, or maybe even avoid some mistakes to begin with.
It's not so much straightening out. It's and Beth can attest to this. When you talk to a teacher, someone who's spent time in the classroom, most teachers will tell you that within the first day or so of school, they can identify students that, this student's got a lot of potential. This student's going to require some extra work. These two don't need to sit together. I was one of those. This one needs to be made to sit on the front row type thing. But they're very attuned to what a child is capable of. And what I would like to do, and part of this mindset was using the school system to identify kids who have some potential. A lot of kids won't need the program because they come from a home where schoolwork is a priority, school attendance is a priority, being accountable, being responsible is one of those things. But if you have a child out there who's struggling, maybe they've got a parent who's working those 2 jobs from a single parent home. Maybe you have a child being raised by grandparents or an aunt or uncle. It's a challenging situation under the best of circumstances, but certainly more so for that young person, to expose that young person to a partner from the community who can sit down and talk with them, discuss their life experiences, discuss what's going on in the young person's life, maybe have some team building skills or tasks to work on together, whatever the case is. But basically just to let that young person know that, while you may be while this adult may be somebody who has a college degree, who owns a business or two, is a teacher, is retired from some position, whatever the case is, that hopefully gives them the idea that, hey, you're not really any more different than me. Yeah. And I've got there is the potential and the opportunity here to do better with my life. Maybe I've never considered going to college. College, what is it? We hear about going to college. Okay, well, what do you get out of that? What do you put into it? What direction can you go? And what we're trying to do is target some seventh graders in middle school. And we wanted to really start small so we can fine tune it, if you will, and work out the kinks. And where Beth and the rest of the team comes in is, like I said, I've had this idea batting around in my mind for some time, a mentoring type program. I by no means have all the answers and certainly don't have all the manpower and the skills to put this together. So reached out to Beth and Linda Schenck and Jessica Reese and Becky Kegley, Daryl Crouch, different ones, Jenny Sanders, different folks, names you may or may not recognize, but folks that I knew had experience in dealing with young people, but more importantly, had that passion of dealing with young people. And we've had some really productive meetings over the last month or so where we sit down and brainstorm some ideas. But, when you think, are you running down some rabbit hole or is it working? I'll just tell you this, and I don't mean to sound audacious or bragging or anything like this, but one Saturday or Sunday, I don't remember what it was. I was on the tractor doing something, and I said, I need to call Beth Petty with the Lebanon Special School District. And she was out of town. She can pick up the story on that, but God's hand's in this because he's, unbeknownst to me, has identified these other people as part of this team who all had the same thing. And when I talked to Beth Petty, she tells me that Lebanon Special School District has been awarded a grant to serve this exactly kind of purpose. I had no idea, but I'll let her take it from there.
Yeah. Well.
So, Coleman, we mentioned the state, and the state's put a lot of different provisions in place for school systems this year. And so we looked at how our community had supported us through tornado, pandemic, and then flooding, all within a 1-year period from March 2020 to March 2021. And we have had so many people rise up, and these were community leaders and people that were already in position. So when we wrote for the governor's Civic Seal grant, we wrote it on the premise that we need to be training the next generation of leaders, and we need to make sure that they know what civics is, what civics learning is, government, civic organizations, faith-based communities. So we have been awarded a total, we wrote for 3 different grants, and Lebanon Special has been awarded a total of $27,000 to use for civics training and for implementation within our community. So not only will we be training them what civics looks like, but they will actually go out and do hands-on projects to give back to the community to start training them. And Barry Tatum mentioned several different people that will be plugged into this. Becky Kegley will be, she's our assistant director of schools, so she'll be heading up, making sure that academically we're on track, and also with scheduling. Scheduling is so hard for us, especially in the middle schools. So she'll be following up. So I guess we can do a Barry, Beth, Becky. And then we also have some other people that have been instrumental in helping us implement this. A big shout out to the City of Lebanon with Brian Chemicki and Fiona Hayward, who's doing an internship there. And she was very instrumental in helping us as we applied for this grant. And she's a former LSSD student, so I think that's really cool. Then he also mentioned Daryl Crouch. So we'll be working with Everyone's Wilson, again, doing some volunteer service through Everyone's Wilson, securing those volunteers. And we'll also be working with Adina Chumley with Wilson Works. And we're super excited. We will just be going out. Barry and I will be going out. This is what he has, his wish for me and him is for us to go out into the community and secure volunteers. So we'll be hitting up the retired teachers, our senior citizen centers, our faith-based communities. The Lebanon Wilson County Chamber has been very instrumental in this also. And so Coleman, two things from me this morning. I do know that your wife would like one of the newest necklaces that are available this summer, and those are necklace cooling fans.
Yeah.
And I do think you said you would secure one, and you have not done that. And we would also like to extend you the opportunity on air to say that you would like to be one of our first volunteers to work with our students.
Well, I got to think about that one. But the air conditioner, when I figure out how to get it, you're going to show me. And
Amazon.com.
How soon are you going to do this? Are you just almost with the start of the school year, maybe?
So yes, the grant, we will be starting. We have to turn in our final budget by August 16th, and we will have some conversations with key players, our administrators. When I leave here, I'm going to administrative retreat, and we will be talking a little bit about this during that retreat, and then we will start with our grant pretty much as soon as school starts. And I think with the SOAR program, we will be starting that in October with Everyone's Wilson and Wilson Works. They'll also be plugging in as we go and as we evolve.
What of those that you're asking to volunteer? What kind of commitment are we talking about here in time, especially?
Well, that's been one of my concerns about this, is because if experience has been that you find somebody who's really committed and says, I want to volunteer for this, just like Coleman Walker here, and says I want to be involved in this. But if your commitment is weekly and it's for 3 months, 4 months, that may not sound like, say, Coleman, we just need you for 30 minutes every Thursday or every Tuesday or whatever the case is. That gets to be a chore. And something comes up from time to time, and you're thinking, well, I've got to reschedule the doctor's appointment or so forth, and those kinds of things. So what we would like to have, our goal is to try to recruit a sufficient number of partners, volunteers, if you will, to come out and say, well, my commitment's going to be 1 or 2 days a month.
Okay.
And where it's an hour of time, and there's some flexibility built into it. We can have that coordinated. The problem that you run into, though, is if you're bringing a child into this and every week they're seeing a different face, you lose that continuity, and you don't have an opportunity to build up that relationship. So we're going to try to focus on having a few key players who are present at every time, like I guess you would say super partners or super volunteers to coordinate that. But that's where the school system is instrumental, because they're going to be a presence. This is going to be something that we do in the middle school. We're going to start at Walter J. Baird, hopefully expand it to Winfrey Bryan. But it's a new concept, and I've talked to several people over the years about this in various degrees, and one of the things that I've started doing within the last year or so is make it a component of probation requirements for young people to come through, that they have to attend a city council meeting, a school board meeting, or a civic club meeting, and get the program. Because what that does is gives them an opportunity, number one, to see government at work, and that it's not some secret dark cloakroom where you have to pay a fee or know a secret handshake to gain admittance, but also that you get to see people who are giving back to the community, people who are successful in their profession, their business, they're retired perhaps, whatever the case is. But to let them know that there's more to this world than just what they're familiar with. But anyone who's interested in volunteering, we don't have a website. I'm technologically challenged, and we don't have a website yet, but that's one of the things that we're part of this team that we're trying to work on. But anyone who's interested in this can give my office a call at 615-444-9537. That's 9537. And Millie will be there to answer the phone and just leave your name and number. We would love to hear from you. And, I would rather somebody do that than to have Beth and I come knocking on their door and to do it.
Although we do plan that too.
Yeah.
And they can also contact my office at 615-453-2693, or just call the Lebanon Special School District Central Office and ask for Beth Petty.
All right, we've got 30 seconds here. We've covered a lot of territory here this morning, but if anybody wants to know more, probably those two phone numbers will get the job done for you right now. And appreciate y'all being here to talk about this morning, and wish you well. Hope you can help a lot of people.
All right.
Thank you, Coleman.
All right. Good to have you. That is it for a Tuesday. I hope you'll join us tomorrow for the Wednesday edition. And until then, I wish you a terrific day.